I mean, that looks fresh. I mean, that looks like,
It is.
Would be awesome if
that
we
is
could make
something
this
that sounds in the back of your head.
fast. Be
See hair on my collar.
No, it was too far away for me to see that.
To be honest, if I could get mine
No,
on.
I could tell a fresh cut when I see one.
There's something like on the calendar, isn't it, on the agenda?
Keep up with your style.
Then we might be out. We'll
Rest
see.
yesterday,
Sometimes
you weren't there to see it.
the agenda link can be deceptive.
I know.
It
The awards.
encourages.
Keep it short.
I need a bigger one of these.
Yes.
Oh, the thing we're on the beach, I don't ever go. If I know you're gonna be there in a fabulous dress.
I was the only one there.
Never
I wanted to be with my peeps, but none of you guys were
sorry.
there. I was all by my little lonesome.
If I'm making another year, it's a day.
All dressed up and no one was there to see it.
That's terrible.
Sad.
We're going to start
Good
here.
picture.
Yeah, you with the mayor.
I'd like to call to order this May 1st meeting of the Clearwater Downtown Development Board. We'll begin by having our board members introduce themselves, beginning on my left.
Ray Pisano.
Alina Teixeira.
Thomas Wright.
Paris Morphopoulos.
Stu Showerman.
Caitlin Jammo.
Jay
Jay Polglaze, ex officio.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paris.
David Albrin, ex officio.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, we're looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the April 3rd Downtown Development Board meeting.
So moved.
Good.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to item number 3. If there are any citizens to be heard regarding items not on the agenda, please come forward. Great, please state your name and address, and in front of the mic there. Be on the other side of the podium, please. Yeah.
My name is Christina Carley, address 2556 Royal Pine Circle, Clearwater, Florida. I wanted to address the Downtown Development Board regarding the plans for North Ward Elementary School. This is a school that I attended as a child, 1956 to 1965. I understand that it was sold from the Pinellas County School Board to the City of Clearwater in April of this year. And I just wanted to give you a few of my thoughts. I understand there's also a City Council meeting tomorrow at 6 that I also plan to attend, where some of you might also be attending. I just have a prepared statement here, and I think you all have copies of it as well. Built in 1915, North Ward Elementary School operated as a fully functional school until it was shuttered in 2009 due to declining population of elementary school-aged children in the surrounding area. Per an article in the April 12, 2019 issue of Clearwater Times section of the Clearwater Times section of Tampa Bay Times, North Ward was sold, as I said, for $1.8 million to the City of Clearwater as part of the city's revitalization efforts in the North Marina neighborhood. As I said, I was a student in North Ward Elementary, grade 1 through 6, from 1956 to 1965. I'm 67 years old. My older sister, now 72, and also my mother, who passed away at age 94 in 2017. We all three attended North Ward Elementary School. It's amazing to my friends when I tell them that all three of us attended the same elementary school, had the same music teacher, Miss White, who, among other things, it's instilled in us a love of and appreciation of music and musical instruments. My friend Julie Nichols is here with me today, and she also attended North Ward Elementary School with a lot of fond nostalgia. We both remember the Maypole event every year at North Ward, where long, colorful streamers were threaded by us kids into a fabulous, beautiful, woven design, and it seemed to appear as magic as we stepped to the music around the Maypole. But more than that, for the reason of fond nostalgia, North Ward Elementary School needs to be preserved as a part of Clearwater's history. has gone through the First World War, the Second World War, the Cold War, and the Vietnam War. None of the children who attended in the 1950s and 60s will ever be able to forget the air raid sirens and the sudden yet firm instructions from our teachers to crouch beneath our desks. I don't think most of us even knew or understood the reason. It was only later that we learned it was a precautionary thing to protect us from potential bombs coming up from the southern waters. North Ward needs to be preserved, not just because of some of the fond memories and some of the scary memories, but because it's a symbol of how a school can unite a community, of how a school can go on in the face of Cold Wars, World Wars, and civil unrest. I submit to you that North Ward Elementary School should become the next Clearwater Historical Museum. I'm currently exploring the application process for getting North Ward added onto the National Registry of Historic Places as a first step in making sure that North Ward is not sold to the highest bidder for stores, breweries, housing complexes, or condos. I urge and implore the city council members and you development members to join with me and many others in this important effort. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Very good. Are there any other citizens that would like to address the board? Okay, thank you for that.
I have a question.
Yes,
What does the city plan to do with the school now?
I actually don't know the answer to that. Ex
We
officio.
we have not determined what to do yet. Over the next few months, we're going to be looking at our best options as far as redevelopment of the property, reconstruction of the interior. We don't know yet. We're going to look at the property, see what the associated costs are, make some decisions based on quite a bit of information, including the historic value of the property. But we really haven't gotten there yet.
Is there any interest on any party to actually take on a project of a museum or anything? Is anyone?
We're working on that with South Ward right now.
Mhm.
It's a long process, but, no, we just don't know. But we didn't, I think the city really wanted to buy it, so we could direct the development there instead of having somebody buy it and not give us any kind of say-so in what's gonna happen.
Very good.
Well, if I could segue off that, when he said direct development, I mean, I was participant when the South Ward was, that arrangement was constructed to do nonprofit historical museum there. So it was always the intent, I think, at least from my perspective, before council, now back on council, buy it, preserve the main structures, and see how we can best facilitate an adaptive reuse. To me, that means not bulldoze the structure, but I don't know if we need two historical museums, but there, I think, are many other great ideas for adaptable reuse of historic properties. I've heard everything from artist-type colony to, in fact, maybe a small portion of it a brewery, but the main structure, for me, should be preserved and be an asset to the community.
Sure. Authenticity.
Yeah.
Where do the children that used to go to that school attend elementary school now?
Well,
We got a lot of different elementary schools.
yeah, the zones have actually increased. So Skycrest Elementary, there's Calvin Hunsinger, there's several elementaries in the area. But honestly, those two schools were from a different time frame when people lived closer to the downtown core. And then, of course, everything moved further out and neighborhoods became bigger outside of downtown. So I think there's a number of other elementary schools in the area where they attend.
Okay.
Schools can't operate either South Ward or North Ward now because the campus is too small for their current system. So that's why they haven't done anything. They were closed, 15 years ago. And I know North Ward's been closed for a while.
I believe the Sandy Lane is the closest elementary school, public elementary school to the two that we're discussing today. But there are others in the area that serve the population too.
Can you make an effort to keep Mrs. Carley informed on what the city's plans are?
Sure, yeah, and it sounds like we're going to see her tomorrow as well, so,
Yes.
certain, yep.
Oh, the only thing I might add is You have to cut your speech down because the mayor won't allow you to go longer than 3 minutes.
When you hear that beep, that means
Yeah.
you're off. So cut it down a bit.
Mayor will use a gavel.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I let you run over because it obviously seemed quite important to you, so we just let it go to the end. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next item. New business items. I'm looking for a motion to adopt the March 2019 financial statement for filing.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried unanimously. Now we're going to move on to the DDB work plan review and discussion. And if you could help us out with that.
Good evening, Anne Fogarty France, Business Assistance Manager and DDB Administrator. I know that there's been a lot of questions about the work plan, the Downtown Development Board, and just FYI, I put a updated work plan at your seats because I found a typo in one of the items. I had a wrong date. So when the board went to their strategic planning back in May of last year, they worked hard on coming up with a strategic plan.
Is that May last year already?
Yes,
This is
yes.
a year ago.
Yes.
Time
May
flies.
22nd, to be exact, yes. And then the board looked at what the response was. They fine-tuned it. I know our CRA director, Amanda Thompson, put it into a strategy, a tactical plan. And we came up with the 3 different areas: marketing goal, business assistance goal, and the policy and project goal. And the different board members have responded to their tasks in different ways. Say, for instance, Member Devaney, he gave the board a presentation. He provided that to me. I provided it to you, and he talked about it, and the board voted to make a recommendation to the city council. Member Teixeira, in December, she talked to the board about the recommendations. She did research and came up with some different ideas for the business task force things, the goals in the policy and project goal. So this is a document, it's a living, breathing document. You can get as involved as you want. I know that Member Teixeira is working with Rosemary Damore. I know that, Thomas, you did not get the attention you needed in the one item with Caitlin about the demolition launch that we told you we'd give, but I just wanted to know if the board would like to go through each item and give updates. I didn't receive I didn't receive responses from all members about the items that they were the champions for. So it's at the board's pleasure. If the board wants to go through each item one by one, we can do that and we can talk about it. I know that Rosemary is going to address fund the art tech exhibitions, installations to attract tech workers. And she's also going to address the videos in her presentation, which follows mine. So, it's whatever the board would like. If the board would like me to meet one-on-one with you to discuss some of these items, because I don't have answers about all of them from all board members.
Any comments from the board? Any suggestions on how to proceed?
I would prefer one-on-ones because it would be a waste of time for everyone to listen to everyone's tasks.
I understand. Okay. Within the next 2 weeks, then you'll hear from me. I will set up meetings with you, one-on-ones.
Okay. Is there anyone that has an action item that they would like to discuss and bring up at this time with everybody rather than just with Ann Byer together?
No, but I would say, if we reserve some time in the next meeting after the one-on-ones, if the collective group wants to make a comment or, add something, there should be time for that. Because we can't talk outside the sunshine laws.
That's true.
Right.
I can
Okay.
put some time on the agenda.
It seems like a good way to proceed. If
Right.
we have one-on-ones
And then the updates.
and then do a follow-up next month and see where we stand as a group.
And then something else that's happening next month is I'll work with the treasurer on the preliminary budget that we have to present to the board. And one of the questions that I'm going to ask Caitlin is, shall we, for the items that we haven't spent that are associated with work plan items, are we going to keep those on next year's budget? Should we not get that accomplished by September 30th? Okay.
So worth discussing at the
I
next
have
meeting.
one more question.
Sure.
On the completion date, if I'm looking at this correctly, we're months behind, are we not?
On many items. Some items were done when they said they would be done, and many have not.
Okay, so is there a plan to catch up?
Well, that is what my own view on this is that each person needs to look at the action item that they signed up for and see what they are willing to do and how much time they can commit and propose a realistic new completion date for the items that they're responsible for. So if everybody takes ownership of their items, I don't know if everybody got the letter that I had sent out.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah. Basically, the only way these action items are going to get done is if we actually do them, and we need to take ownership of them and do the heavy lifting to get these items to it done. Otherwise, it just won't occur, and the next meeting will be much like this one, where we don't really have any new dones to report.
Well, maybe I'm out of order here, but Rosemary and I had a conversation, and I think she had a conversation with Stu, so maybe there's an update coming from Rosemary on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're good? All right, okay.
Good. Okay. Everybody happy with leaving it there? Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Ann. Okay, now we'll go on to item number 4.3, the DDB work plan item, the marketing goal strategy, recommendations on promoting downtown Clearwater.
Hi all.
Welcome.
Rosemary DeMoore, the Public Relations and Programs Manager for the CRA. So I have two projects to update on this evening. First is the item on the work plan that's on arts and technology, which I will bring up now. So we have an update on the project. So the DDB has allocated $25,000 for an augmented reality installation in downtown. We have an update on the project idea here, which I've spoken with Member Teixeira about. So, I can't see the bottom one, that's design flaw on my end, apologies. So the new idea is to partner with USF, University of South Florida's 3D Access Lab, to develop virtual and augmented reality installations that highlight public art in downtown Clearwater. And our idea is to use existing public art through the CRA's mural program, and this link here goes to the CRA's mural program if you have not seen it on our site at downtownclearwater.com. Head over there. So the idea is to activate one of these murals. We're thinking it would be Comunidad, but we have 4 murals that are completed in downtown, and this is a scalable project that we could build. This page on our site has a listing of each one, as well as its address, or as well as its location, and then the videos that we've created for each project. If you haven't seen, I would recommend giving it a watch. So the mural program, again, 4 murals downtown. They vary from a 100-foot mural on the parking garage on Garden Ave to the Flag Company to in the downtown gateway to a vacant building in downtown to a building along the Pinellas Trail. So we've kind of encapsulated all of downtown. And thinking about who we were going to partner with for this kind of project, There are a lot of AR companies out there right now. There are a lot of people who are working in this tech. It's a really booming industry. A lot of these partners, or a lot of these folks are looking to work with really large cultural institutions like museums, and a lot of them are also looking to work with large-scale parties. So think Niantic Labs and Pokemon to produce the Pokemon Go craze that happened a couple of years ago. So they're often creating museum-specific installations or creating kind of one-off projects, which we looked into and think that that's really not kind of the best direction to take this project in, because they can be extremely costly and, again, one-off projects, whereas this is something that we want to use to engage residents, not just in a single project, but also throughout the course of the year, and start to build a scalable project for establishing downtown as a hub for arts and technology. So looking at USF, they have a proven track record with the Access 3D Lab. It is a pretty phenomenal institution that they have. It's a local partnership, or it would be a local partnership with a educational institution. This is their site if you want to take a look at that. But they do all sorts of technology installations. They do virtual reality, augmented reality, 3D printing, and there's a list of some of their offerings here. They're working with a number of partners, both locally and around the country, to develop installations. And the key factor here that we think would be really important is that they would be a community partner with us in engaging folks. Just go back here. Community partner in engaging with folks, and they're focused very much on learning. So as we're looking for community engagement events that can educate folks onto what we're doing with augmented reality, because dropping an AR project into downtown when we haven't really built up a strong following for that yet would be almost kind of wasteful, right? So we want to start to build up a following for this, gain some buy-in from the community, and they would be committed to doing that with us, and that's something that's actually a staple of the work that USF does. And again, since we're linking this with existing projects in downtown by linking it with a mural program, it shows that there's coordination happening from the city. And also, again, just doing that community buy-in so that we'd be building a long-term scalable project for the future. So I've spoken with Member Teixeira before earlier this week about this project and talking about a potential timeline and establishing how we will be informing the DDB about the progress of this project going forward. So I will be providing monthly updates to Member Teixeira about the status of the project, which she can relay to you. We'll be sending drafts and outlines of every stage of the project, and also inviting DDB members to all the public-facing community events about the augmented reality project. So that was the end of this update. If there are any questions or comments.
Yeah, I didn't, that all sounds good, but I didn't quite, I don't know if anybody else got it, but I didn't get what the deliverable is. What will it look like when it's done?
Sure. So the augmented reality component to the murals that we'd have. So in addition to creating a virtual reality map that would provide some interactive features to looking at the mural on YouTube or on our website, where you can kind of look through, you'll get audio files, you get video files that can kind of show you the creation process, that can add different elements to the mural that you see. But then when you're actually in person in front of the mural, there's an app that you can download. When you hold up your phone, the mural will transform. So if it's the Comunidad mural that's out on the Garden Avenue garage with the women who are holding hands and dance, we can adapt that so when you hold up your phone using the app, the women will actually separate and come back together. They'll be able to move. We can add different layers onto the experience so that you'll hear the artists and you'll hear their inspiration. You might be able to click through in the app and see who these women actually are, because that's one of the interesting elements of that mural, is that all the women who are on that mural are actual real people who the artists know. So we'll be able to add different interactive features for it that creates a destination for folks when they come downtown, and something that they can really engage with in a high-tech capacity that we think is going to establish downtown as a hub for arts tech.
Okay, I'm curious, what percentage of the grant is for the development, and how much of it is allocated to let people know that we've done it and that it exists?
So the community engagement component is built into it. So we don't have the exact proposal from USF yet. They are aware of the budget that we're working with, and we can build on different elements. It'll be a very customizable thing. So if there's elements that we really want to do, so if we want downloadable virtual reality content, for instance, that will cost maybe around $2,000. If we want to have more community events and community-specific events, that could cost around $1,000 per day for them to come downtown and actually engage with folks. So we can really kind of tailor it to where we think is going to be the most successful or where it's going to have the most impact.
My own opinion is that a significant portion should be allocated to social media marketing.
Oh, yeah.
To let people know that it exists. Otherwise, we'll create something that's really nice,
Yeah.
and 11 of us will go and see it, and no one else will know it exists.
Right.
So we should spend
Okay.
in the direction of letting lots of people know that it exists when there is something for them to go and see.
Yeah, we'll build that in as well. Yes, and so in terms of the timeline for it, we're hoping to launch or announce this partnership in June at the end of the DALI project. Happening at Second Century Studios, and announce the launch of this as kind of the next phase in arts and technology in downtown Clearwater, which we're hoping to get some media attention for. So that would be another angle that we can kind of pinpoint at the beginning. And because this is a longer term partnership and not kind of one of these one-off AR projects that you drop into an area, like you can see with some of the AR companies that can produce things really, really quickly, this would be a much longer term, the kind of a ramp-up project where we'd be working over the course of the next 6 months to develop something really, really strong and engage people on a weekly or monthly basis around what this project is. So we get that buy-in downtown and can also build the buzz from a regional perspective.
Great.
I think one of the most exciting parts about this is that our partner is USF. I think that's the perfect partner. Its reputation, actually having students in a department being responsible for it, I think also is part of that positive storytelling. You know, having a university, having a project in downtown Clearwater, that in itself should have its own, I guess, advertising engine. You know what I mean? Apart from us. So, and having an influx of talented young people in downtown Clearwater is just perfect.
I think that's a key feature of it, that there's a partnership with an entity like USF. Yeah. Anyone else?
Well,
Okay.
as know before, we're also tightening our relationship with USF. And they're coming down here and working together in the high-tech area. So it's a good combination of everything.
Yeah, I think so. They seem to be a really great local partner. They're folks who are really, I've been very, very impressed with all the conversations that we've had with them so far. And again, having the resources not just from the CRA and the city, but having the resources from USF to kind of get the word out about this is something that they definitely would want to highlight as well, right? So it wouldn't just be our kind of promotion of it. They would be actively engaged with us. So I think that's an added bonus.
So maybe, as Lena said, it might be a good idea as a press release or something to highlight the relationship with USF.
Absolutely.
Just all by itself. Yeah.
We will definitely have a release on this when we announce in June, yes.
Great, thank you.
Great. Okay, so to continue the Rosemary Show.
So that's going to be announced in June?
Yes.
You know when in June?
So we can pretty much launch whenever we have the agreement signed, but we are at the end of the DALI exhibit. So the DALI exhibit is in Second Century Studios through June 30th. On June 22nd, we're looking to host an arts tech showcase, which would kind of highlight a lot of the local leaders who are working at the intersection of arts and technology. And we're hoping to have that event be kind of the big event. USF is already going to be there in the space that day talking about the existing work that they're doing in arts tech, but we could use this as a launching point for this project and also outline what are the community engagement days going to look like, what are the dates for those, so we'll have kind of a full suite of things to announce on that day.
I'm just looking for a specific point in time, thank you.
Sure, yeah, June 22nd. Okay. And so, next up, promoting downtown through videos. So to update from last month, again, the DDB has $24,400 to spend in fiscal year 2019 on PR and promotional efforts for downtown Clearwater. And our objective today is to kind of go through what we went over last month and then kind of outline what are the key goals that we want to achieve through the promotional events, come up with a specific approach, target audience, and timeline. So I've outlined some of this here. So from last meeting, what we covered, so there's a desire for some tangible takeaways in 2019. And we're also kind of starting a little bit from scratch where we don't have comparable campaigns or data from previous years to use, but in a way that can be a really positive thing because it gives us a launching point to build a foundational campaign going forward. We need to develop a shared vision from the DDB on its objectives. 2019 is the year to experiment with a budget that's been currently allocated. As a possible takeaway, we thought a video campaign could be feasible. And also there was some discussion last month about crowdsourcing and the role that that could play in promoting and also contributing content for a video campaign. So if there aren't any additions on that, we'll continue moving forward, but wraps it up. Okay. All right, so ideas for a video campaign. Based on my conversations with all of you and following up, so I think a possibility would be to produce 3 to 4 varied length videos highlighting the unique assets of downtown Clearwater and showcasing the area as the next great destination to live, work, and play. These varied length videos would be about 15 seconds to 1 minute that could be promoted on social media. And would serve as the foundation for future video campaigns and promotional campaigns. Again, kind of creating that scalable content from the beginning, a strong foundation that you can build on for years to come. The content can address a particular question. One that I would suggest moving forward is something like, why did you choose downtown Clearwater and why did you choose to stay? Having that be kind of a rallying point throughout all the videos that are produced. It can also have a varied approach in the style in which they're produced. So interviews with specific individuals in downtown, having event-specific videos that highlight the great things that are happening downtown, like a Blast Friday, and then also kind of more general invest in Clearwater videos, which would be something akin to the Amazon HQ2 videos that cities were producing over the course of the past 2 years to try to attract Amazon to work. Another element that could be added onto this is there could be a tagline and an overall theme for the video series, something like Invest in Clearwater. So it's be different from the cities. Bright and Beautiful from Beta Beach is taken, and it's something that's staying for the city's tagline, but this could be a specific tagline for this campaign. That could be an element that we add on to this campaign as well. So on platforms, this would be distributed or posted on downtownclearwater.com, the CRA's website, and then distributed through paid content and advertising on social media over a period of 3 to 4 months. Again, tracking and measuring all of the results from these campaigns and paid campaigns is going to be the key point here. When we track these results, we'll be able to build something scalable for the next year. In terms of a budget breakdown, considering putting out a request for proposals for $20,000 on a video campaign, which leaves us about $4,400 for social media promotion on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And again, throughout the process, we'll need to get quotes from video firms and from communications firms or PR firms to continue with this. Yes.
Are you? What's your thinking on when you get responses? Mm-hmm. Are you looking at farming it out to 4 or 5 entities, or having the best entity get the whole 20,000?
Yes, I think just one from producing the 3 to 4 videos, so that there's continuity and a brand, if you will, for the campaign.
I would like to submit a different way to break down that budget.
Okay.
What you can do is, let me give you an example. We are doing a local PR campaign just for the company.
Mm-hmm.
That is Tampa Bay, so it's a larger area, but it's $20K a month. Mm-hmm. So if you want to get the biggest impact, you want to cut down on your video production cost. Mm-hmm. You want to expand on your actual social media promotion. Mm-hmm. If you can, obviously that depends on quality of the videos, et cetera, but you want to go to half-half or even 75-25, where 25 is your production cost and 75 is what you use to promote, if you can get there.
Yeah.
I'd like to expand on that. I have, for example, 3 or 4 kids, and I call them kids because they're much younger than I do, they're like 19, 25. And their social media footprint is huge, only because what they do is so different and it's so organic. Mm-hmm. And so can we think outside the box? Instead of hiring a firm and making it look like this professional video that's so documented, why not make it go organic and have local influencers, kids with 50,000 followers on their Instagram who have a GoPro, and their videos are so unique, they're action-packed, they're fast-paced, and they actually get the message across at a fraction of the price. And because they're street, they get the audience we want, which is more not. I just think that spending $20,000, like Stu says, on one firm to do 4 videos that will look like a city paid somebody to do the video. Let's get the community, let's get the social media influencers to do it at an organic level, and flip that number around. Maybe $5,000 for these kids that are influencers, right? And $20,000 on the promotion.
You got my vote.
Let's flip it around. Let's be innovative, and you know, take advantage of these kids that have the formula down.
How do we get them engaged?
You just need one influencer to spread the word, and then you have a bunch of kids out there with GoPros and doing these incredible videos. Somebody did it for me in one afternoon. He just did it, and it was so fast paced, so cutting edge. The angles were just, you could just tell that it was somebody young and edgy doing it. And I got triple the likes in just a 15-second video of my wine bar, just because he did it his way.
What do you propose for a mechanism for receiving, promoting applications, getting applications, approving and paying for them? What's
Easy.
the selection process?
Crowdsource, just put $1,000 award out for the best Clearwater downtown video,
And
put
choose
it
the top
out there, or 3 awards, you know, $750, $500, and $250, and then people submit, and you pick the best ones, and those you promote through social media.
And then you get the added advantage of seeing Clearwater through a young person's eyes, which is so different than ours. And then we open it up to a new audience.
Yeah, I think that's fine for the young people, but I also think part of our goal here is to attract developers and people that will invest in Clearwater.
Do you think those videos is what's gonna get investors on here?
I really don't know, but I'm not sure that a New York developer is going to be looking at the, social media
I don't
from
know.
Clearwater. I don't know.
These big firms are paying these young influencers by the post to just take a picture of a product.
I do.
New York's looking at it. Stu,
Yeah, yes.
back me up on this.
You know, listen, I mean, those developers, they're looking at, suppose it's, just residential, right? They're looking at what kind of people do we want? If it's rentals, then that's their exact demographic. Young professionals working and living in downtown. So you could easily translate that message to a developer who says, well, I'm going to put 500 apartments there. Who's going to rent my apartments? Well, yeah, no, that translates just fine. Yes.
Micah had a comment.
I just wanted to for one, check with Rosemary and I guess make a comment there. The approach of using the influencers and having it be more organic, what kind of, how more or less intense is that from a staff perspective than the other version?
If we're able to do it through an RFP process, I'm not sure what the process would be for this, because we do have a stricter purchasing code when it comes to acquiring a firm for something that's $20,000. If we're looking for a crowdsourced video campaign, that's something that would require a lot of upfront and continual staff time to manage. But it is something that is a new approach and could be very interesting. It's if we can have a very specific objective, very specific audience, and very specific quality standards that everyone agrees on. In this, it's a little bit easier to start off working with an individual firm than it is to start working with influencers, just as it hasn't been done, none of these campaigns
We
have
can
been done
adopt the
before.
approach of the murals, do a call to artists, have a committee, and choose. And just, and to simplify it, it could just be 3 prizes, top 1, 2, 3. And keep this process very simple, very exciting. I mean, that is one thing St. Pete's not doing. Can we be first at something?
We gotta make sure that we have the right to edit.
Jay had a comment.
Yeah, we have to own the company.
I think the city's doing a lot right now with Imagine Clearwater to attract developers. We're working on a master RFP for the entire waterfront. I don't think the developers are really going to look at downtown at our core until we have that intensity. And you're right, I have kids that are exactly your age. And that is the wave of the future, and I don't think that the objective to get their attention should be determined whether or not it's a staffing issue or not. I mean, here's a man right here that has done this over and over and over for very, very cheap. I think it's a greater idea. That is exactly the population that's going to be the future of this city. We need to start thinking like them and start applying the techniques that they welcome, that they use every single moment of every day. The developers are going to come, but I promise you they're not coming yet.
They don't know we're here.
Well, that may not.
And if we wait for the city to continue this process, I'll be 100 years old before Coachman Park is developed.
The master RFP will be, I for one am pushing before the end of the summer to get that thing. I mean, the master RFP is going to show we've got 5 pieces of property on the waterfront that we want. Here's what we want. We want a residential component. We want residential. And right now, we're talking to the last council meeting, we talked about possibly additional parking component, public parking component somewhere. No determination has been made yet, but all those things in that plan is what's going to be put out there. And that's what I'm banking on, that we're going to get the attention of a developer. Multiple developers.
Okay, so I think what the board is indicating is we would rather go with the approaches that have been discussed. What we need to nail down to make it more workable, or to have a way of doing it, is we need to nail down what it is we want these videos to be about and exactly what the split of the funds should be. I think from what everybody's saying, if we just had $250 or $500, I don't think that's sufficient to get a level of quality where somebody's going to spend more than an afternoon on it or a day or
It
two.
gives them a name. They're doing it not for the money, they're doing it to get noticed.
That's true, but
We can do 3, 2,
Kind of
1.
like an indie film.
$3 grand, $2 grand, $1 grand. We just flipped it upside down. 5,000 for the videos and 20 for the.
now
Let me just put it to you
3,
this
2,
way. I
1
can-
is
I
like
can
in
give you-
terms of like first, second, third, like which one's
Yeah.
best type of thing?
Yeah, like a contest.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's an interesting concept.
Mhm.
And if we
I have a
had,
bunch of kids I can do this to.
so then we would have like 3, 2, 1 is 6, so we would have like 18,000 for marketing and 6,000 and something for prizes.
Yes.
Oh my God, you and I agree on money.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
So, and I would imagine we'd have to split it into 2 almost marketing campaigns. One to get like a call for filmmakers, and then the second being the actual, here's the video we have, the videos, here, look at them. So really what we're looking at is like approximately $9 grand for pushing both, right?
Probably a little less for the upfront part, and we want to do more, spend more on the finished product. But if we can tap the right influencers from the start in the application process, we can do that for less. But yes, we would need to create a significant number of collateral in order to push this out and kind of brand it for folks. But it's definitely, it's doable and feasible.
Now let's nail down what last time we talked about this, we were talking, there was a lot of enthusiasm about this idea of a did you know?
Yeah.
And did you know what? Like specifically, what are some ideas on did you know? Is that something we
That's the
leave
whole
up?
thing. A lot of people don't know anything. They don't know that how many restaurants we have, how many bars, that we have an escape room, that we have a Puerto Rican restaurant, that we have Capitol Theater.
Mhm.
You know, when I go into Hillsborough County or even St. Pete or Seminole, they don't know what we have. So we can start from scratch. And what I like about that tagline is you can keep using it as downtown keeps growing.
Mhm.
Did you know? You know, imagine Clearwater's doing this. Did you know?
So in the collateral that we put out to attract these videographers, do we give them a list of suggestions on what the did you know topics are, or what we want the
Yeah, I
video
mean,
to be
yeah,
of?
that's minutia that we can figure out, but I think leaving it open-ended, as in a saying of the did you know, allows an artist a little bit of creative freedom to find specific things about Clearwater that you might not know, right? It can make something that's a video about, let's say the electric covers here in downtown, that could make that a feature versus something as large as the mural program, for instance. It enables people to kind of play with both, and something like incredibly small could actually be something that wins, right? Because it's a attention to detail that's really significant.
I
Did
think
you know we had the winner of the best place to work in Tampa Bay right down here in Clearwater?
Did you know?
Yeah.
I think it's probably the best is to the contest, is let them find out something that they think is noteworthy. Did you know? And then get them to downtown, let them look around, let them do some research, and then do their video about something that speaks to them, which is obviously exactly what you want for that demographic. Who knows what they're going to come up with?
I think when you give artists guardrails, you crush their creativity.
Yeah, right. So
Give
It's
them
not fair.
guidelines, but see what they go with.
let them find out.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that we should define here, you've got to have, you don't want to restrict their creative juices, but you have to have some guidelines that you get a product that you actually are interested in. You don't want to just get
Right.
anything.
But you gotta guide them because they don't even know.
Yes, so we have to have some suggestions on what that is, but also we have to also let them know who the intended audience is for the forthcoming marketing campaign afterwards. Who is this video directed at? And we need to give Rosemary, I don't think it should be directed at developers. I don't think that, if we've got a bunch of young kids going out making videos, they have no reality on who developers are, what they're about. They have reality on each other, on other kids or other people that might move downtown.
The developers are very intuitive, so.
They'd be
see that
interested
and
in
go,
it.
Oh, wow.
But the videographer, if we create a video, who do we want to watch this video? We want a lot of people to, just the general demographics. What is the demographic that we're aiming at?
I'm guessing anybody on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what else is that? I don't know.
Well, that's pretty broad.
All of us to get CDs we can mail out to certain people.
So I think, in terms of target audiences, if it helps to think about geography as well. So is this for locals, is this for regional folks, or is this for general populace in the United States kind of thing? I think creating that civic pride element in this, if we have it targeting towards locals and people in the region, I think could be pretty successful because it kind of establishes Clearwater in the conversation locally and is then also something that can translate and scale up into something that's a national campaign. So,
What do you think of that? I think if we target towards a Tampa Bay audience,
I think we should start off with that.
Start out there, but you need to expand.
we can expand it. But for this initial project here, we have to make it small enough that we can measure some success or see something and not just scatter everywhere.
Did you know that there's going to be a new mini NASDAQ stock exchange started in Chicago and it's going to headquarter here in Clearwater?
Really? I did not know that. Do you have a
Millions
video
of
I can
dollars
link to?
have been committed to it, and it's downtown.
Wow.
So we're not even talking
I
development.
won't believe
we're
it till I
talking
see the video.
Some more high tech. Well, the kids would never find this.
Yeah, that's true.
But, you know.
Okay. Does that give you
yeah. So I think then when we come to timeline on this, I can develop the scope for a contest before next month's meeting, present that, and then we can launch it in June or July. Does that sound?
June's
and then,
good.
Yeah, and then have folks submit over the course of maybe 2 months.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the summer, we'll have actual concrete products that we can start promoting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
excellent? Well, I consider that something done. Okay.
Excellent.
Thanks, Rosemary.
Yes.
Good.
Excellent.
Next. That's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we have item 4.4. Micah, did you have anything for us in the way of CRA updates?
Only that by the next meeting, Ms. Thompson will have returned from maternity leave, so you'll be seeing her next month. So everyone knows, in the last week, you may have heard Jill Silverboard is moving on to the county. I'll be moving into her role, mainly dealing with the departments of the city. Michael Delk has been named as the interim assistant city manager that will focus on Imagine Clearwater and the CRA. So he will be going into the role that I am vacating at the moment. So you may see him at some future meetings as well, especially as it relates to Imagine Clearwater. That's all I have.
Very good. I don't think we have any items under old business items, right? So we'll move on to item number 6, the chairman's report. We have some upcoming events. May 10th, we have Free Pops in the Park with the Florida Orchestra, Coachman Park, 7:30 p.m. May 11th, Dolly's Birthday Bash at Second Century Studios. Enjoy a DJ, a community mural, Galaxy selfie wall, party games, makes and takes, and cupcakes. That's at 331 Cleveland at 11 a.m. May 17th, pop into merchant locations and see live art up and down Cleveland Street from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Downtown Clearwater Art Walk. Get a map, get it signed by businesses for a chance to win a prize. May 18th, 97X Barbecue Music and Arts Festival. That's going to be in Coachman Park from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are required. May 25th and 26th, the Clearwater Music and Arts Festival. There's free admission in Coachman Park from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And May 31st, we have Blast Friday with Mark Farner on Cleveland Street from 5:30 till 10. You can see we have a lot going on now on a monthly basis. We have lots of activities. Quite a bit different than 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, I will turn it over to board members for their comments, and beginning on my left.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of developers coming into Clearwater, calling, so I have to disagree with Mr. Poglaze. We are noticed, and a lot of it's residential, but I think that will lead to everything else.
I just wanted to give a couple of follow-ups, so please have patience. I just want to give you some updates on the jazz auction. Initially, it was not well attended. For the exception of Anne, there was no representation from the city council or the board or anyone from the jazz festival. However, the community rallied, and I was very happy that they came out to support the effort. And we have sold about $410 worth of posters, and there's 2 more in pending collection. So they did move, so that's the good part. The BACA event, the Downtown Merchants Association hosted its annual guided tour of all the concierge from the beach with record attendance of 29 concierge. It was quite a sight to see 29 people walking down the street with me with feathers in the front. We did have Councilmember Poglaze and Condiff address the group. I also want to thank Anne helped me tremendously. It was like herding kittens, but it was great. We toured 6 different venues, and all the remaining merchants were represented by food and beverage at each venue. So in one way or another, each merchant was represented. The response and the feedback has been incredible. It was truly informational. They took a lot of information back. They committed to convey all the information to their clients, so it was a good thing. And lastly, I am so encouraged to see the new shoreline without the harbor view. This is such a visual reminder of progress. And in the spirit of momentum, I would like to encourage council to take the next step and go for the city hall. Just clear it all off. And last but not least, the USF partnership to me is one of the most exciting things happening right now. A surprise to me. I think it's a very progressive thing to involve a college versus just rather a firm. So that's it.
Thank you. With the Imagine Clearwater budget at right now $55 million, is that still the number?
It's the current estimate, correct?
Okay, so that's the current estimate. If I understood you correctly, Michael Delk now is in charge of that as a project.
Correct.
Okay. It doesn't seem to me that the city thinks enough of that $55 million project to appoint someone full-time as a director to drive that. And that may be one of the reasons we are still stuck with nothing going on other than we finally have the harbor view almost gone.
Mr. Delk will not be carrying on with his planning director duties. He is fully engaged with Imagine Clearwater.
So that is his full-time responsibility.
Gina Clayton, the assistant planning director, is now the interim planning director.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood what you said.
And I didn't mention that, but yes.
Okay. Well, hats off to the city for finally realizing maybe we need got to drive that bus. Thank you.
Very good. Stu?
Yeah, related to Imagine Clearwater, when I got elected, one of the things that I always said is, listen, I'm a businessman, so I look at ROI. What are we investing? What is the return? I had a chance to look at the feasibility study, the study that I forget the name of the company who did it.
Web Management Services, yeah.
I was surprised to see that if you put an amphitheater there, the first 5 years it's going to lose money, and there are going to be 6 people there running the place. I honestly do not think that a big amphitheater is a good idea. So if you could tell Michael Delk that, board member, opinion, but I truly, we tore the harbor view down because this thing was losing money every year. I'm going to do the same thing with an amphitheater? I don't know. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and I'm repeating myself, I don't think that a big amphitheater is compatible with residential in downtown. Just noise. Nobody has shown me anything that it won't be a major nuisance. And I'm in an office building that sits, adjacent to the park. I hear the band shell when they do their large things. The windows are vibrating in their frames. So I think band shell, great. Amphitheater, I don't think that's a good idea. If you could, relay that perspective, I would appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you.
I just have 2 things. One, I wanted to appreciate Miss Carly for coming and speaking to us. That type of passion, I think, is really helpful in invigorating us to make sure that we accomplish kind of what our goals are. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that today as well as tomorrow. Secondly, I wanted to just echo the excitement about our partnership with USF. I think that that's fantastic, not only for this project, but also it's actually one of establishing contact with USF to partner with an educational institution to train high-tech and design workers. I think that this is a good kind of door to creating that connection as well as potentially working with them on the video project. Maybe not working directly with them, but I'm sure their students would be some of the ones we may be looking to as well as others as well. So I just wanted to echo those comments.
Yes, and that was one of my action items. And we actually are donating $1 million to USF for specifically, tech workers and training. And so the relationship is moving along. Yeah. Good.
Very good. For my final comments, I just wanted to say thank you and to validate Lena for her very significant involvement in the downtown, both of her work on the jazz posters and on the organizing and taking care of all the concierges on her tour. That's the kind of participation that I'd like to encourage more of, not just by our board, but by citizens in Clearwater. So thank you, Lena. Okay, with that, at 6:28 in the evening, I declare this meeting adjourned.